Hi YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks DIY Garage. Well, I'm getting ready to do some grinding and cutting and welding, and I decided I wanted to protect the paint on a couple of my cars, and mainly windows. You see a lot of people welding around windows, and even if you're grinding and welding and all that stuff and you don't care about the paint, those windows, unless you're planning on protecting them, the sparks that come off of welders and come off of grinders will pit the windows. So you want to cover those windows up when you're doing that stuff. A lot of TV shows don't show that. I mean, all those ones on TV and stuff, I see them welding and grinding, and they have a new piece of glass in their car for some reason because they had it done too soon. And I guarantee you, driving down the road, they're regretting not covering those windows up because they're going to be pitted and they're a pain in the butt to see through. They make little glares. So the point of this is I went and bought a couple of welding blankets here. And they're fiberglass welding blankets. They're 4 foot by 6 foot, and I got 2 of them. I believe they were close to 20 bucks. They were 19 something. I'll put the price below. But regardless, these were the cheapest ones I could find on Amazon, as most of the things I buy are. So I thought I would go ahead and try them out. It says working temperature up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 537 Celsius. They're DK, I don't know, home. It actually shows you how to say it, but I never learned that in school very well. I was lucky I can even read it at all, to be honest. But anyways, so I thought I'd kind of do just a little bit of a first look as all this is, and so far I'm pretty happy. I mean, they're definitely a good thickness. I mean, that's doubled there, but you know, it's thick. I was expecting, you know, almost paper, but it's a good canvas, thick canvas. Sewn and stitched pretty well. I will say the first stitch I look at, it has been back stitched, which is good. I see that a lot on tarps and things where they just run the stitch all the way through, but this actually has a stitch coming to the end and back stitching it, which is good. Kudos to whoever sewed this one up anyway. For the most part, it is what it says it is. It's a decent little welding blanket. If it doesn't catch on fire and does not burn through, I'll be happy. That's really all I need. And they're the 4x6. I've seen some smaller ones that were way more money, and I don't know what the difference is in different types of welding blankets, quite honestly. If it says it'll do the job and it's less money than the other guy, it's usually what I'm going to go for. And nothing's made in the USA anymore, almost at all, so I'm not worried about that too much anymore, unfortunately, either. It's a bonus if you get something that even says it's made in USA with products made from or brought from China or Japan or Asia or wherever any of it comes from. Well, as you can see, I got the welding blanket hanging up here, and I've had a chance to use it once. I did quite a bit of welding with it. If you want to see, I welded a rust patch on my Jeep here, so you can go watch how I used it. But regardless, this is kind of a final look at these after I've used them a little bit. One project, and you can see kind of the damage or what you think about them. Alright, I will say that this one probably had the least of the closeness of it, but whatever fell on this fell directly straight flat down there and was able to sit on it. So I will say this one actually isn't too bad. You can see the dark spots in here, a few places where you can see like it rolled down and kind of burnt in here a little bit. This one doesn't look too bad. There's one spot right, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see a little bit of light through there. It burnt all the way through. There's still some stuck in it. I will say that they get in there and they stick and burn into this, whatever it's made out of. So, hole there, but all in all, this one looks pretty good. I was using it to kind of cover up the side of the car here. Actually, that's my other one. This one was actually over the top of the wheel here. And I've looked and I don't see any place where it really burnt through. There's maybe like one spot here that's a little dark. But all in all, it protected what I was trying to protect. Just kind of draped it over this because I knew if any weld got onto this, it would melt right through and cause little holes. And I've been thinking better. I would have probably taken this off before I did it. Probably next time I will. Hopefully there won't be a next time, but if I ever had to do it again, I think I would have taken this back off. I had it taped across here, but because I was doing stuff right on the other side of this, I kind of came to this side, and you can actually see right there is where a weld spot came through and burnt through right there. So you know, if this was a customer car, which I don't do customer cars anymore, and if I really knew that this car wasn't ever going to get scratched, I'd be very upset with myself right now, because just to fix that spot, if you couldn't get that to buff out, which I'm not sure, it kind of looks like it went clear through the clear coat there. But if you couldn't get that to buff out and you couldn't fix this, you'd be painting, well, spot painting there and clear coating this whole panel. So one of those things where you just got to be careful of how you're doing things. Like the scratches, and there's a few scratches from it, I think, probably up here, but those will buff out. It's the weld spots you gotta worry about. You got the window here as well, and I believe, well, no, that was just a dust spot, so, which that'll scratch your window if you start touching places on your window when it's scratched or when it's dirty like this. Do not wash me in people's windows. It scratches windows, and to buff those out, your window is never the same once you start trying to get some of those scratches out. So don't do that to people, please. Regardless, this isn't totally a learning lesson on welding or anything. It's more supposed to be about the welding blankets, but there is a reason why I bought those and threw them here. It was just kind of save this, hopefully save most of the paint anyway. There was, when we look in the next one, you'll see where all through here there's quite a bit of welding spatter, so we'll go on to that. So here's the one that was on the side of the car, covering up the window and things like that. And I will say it's definitely obtained more damage, but as you can see in this area, I was kind of taping it. This is where it was right in the corner of the car. So there was a pocket right here that was flat. And it was right next to where I was welding this area right here. So as you can see, I had some tape there. In fact, I taped that up because there was a hole there that I noticed. This was all taped across the edge, kind of holding it up in spots, and I retaped it a couple times. But as you can see, a lot of damage in this area from weld sitting down in there and just burning. And that one, like I said, burned through. That's why I put that piece of duct tape over it. There's quite a bit more of the burning and spatter and things. But really, all this right here, this would be like where the window was, and you can see burn through all along. Actually, this might have went right down in the groove. I'll show you where this, that's where that was. I'll show you where the main damage came from later. But there's a hole there. There's lots of holes. This whole thing all the way through here, there's little holes through, holes over here. So that was right here in this channel, sitting on top of this, where most of the damage occurred, in this area here. And then it goes down this whole channel right here, and you can see like right here where it burnt. And this is just cardboard that I used to kind of keep stuff, dust and stuff out. And but you can see where it had gone through and started kind of burning. There's a burn spot here. Oh, another one right here, burn into the paint here. So yet again, I don't think I would use these for this process again. They make a welding paper, but it is really expensive, and it's kind of more made for this, and I didn't want to do it. But honestly, if you had a nice car and it burned through like that, like I said, you're clear coat, you're painting that spot and clear coating the whole thing, and you're mad at yourself. So really, this car, I plan on taking it off-road. In fact, I've taken it off-road a couple times and got scrapes and dents on it anyways, and so I'm not super worried about it, although this is our daily driver. So I do want to keep it decent as long as I can, but I'll probably buff those spots out best I can and hope. But regardless, I would not probably use it the way I used it if you buy this one. I don't know, there are some more expensive ones out there, but they really don't look a whole lot different than this one here. So whether or not they are, that's up to you to decide. I will use this kind of where it's hanging right now, probably when I do some welding and things like that, just to kind of keep weld splatter from coming this way onto maybe a car that's parked in here or whatever, or you know, keep dust and dirt down. But I probably, I don't know, depends on the car, but I probably wouldn't use this on a real nice paint job the way I used it. It did protect it to some extent, more than if I didn't have anything at all, but it didn't do as well as I thought it would. So I don't know what anybody's gonna get out of this video. It's probably already way longer than I want it to be. So I will say it did better than nothing at all, but not as good as I wanted it to be. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching Junkworks DIY Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all, and I obviously am master of none. You have a good one.